Hi.
Hey, Cesar. Good evening.
Tell
You
me.
hear me?
Sure, I can hear you.
I hope just you and the family feeling better today with
Yeah,
all this virus.
medicine, okay. Bit better.
Great. Okay. If you don't mind, I'm gonna start. It's kind of the question of the mind, coming from the mind, but maybe just it can help me just on my way. So the people saying that we can change what is going on. I mean that it's already destiny written somewhere, and we can't just make the free choice. So do we have a free choice or we don't?
The only choice that is actually there is not to identify oneself with the body. If you choose not to identify oneself with the body, the so-called destiny can be wiped out completely or reduced to its minimum. And because there is no identity with the body, once it's not affected by it. If you want to change your destiny, you will need a body to experience the new destiny. Are you following?
Yeah, I do.
So you will slave again yourself to another body and to more actions, right?
So do you have a choice like in 5 minutes I'm gonna either just watch movie or to eat ice cream or just to call to my friend?
No,
Is it just up to me or it's already predefined?
it is already preordained by your previous thoughts, words, and actions.
Mhm. But if I will start losing my ego, will I change this predefined pattern or not?
As I said before, it is possible, but not by will, but because you surrender.
Mhm.
The
So
ego is not, there will be no ego who change the destiny. See, there will be no ego at all. Therefore, there will be no destiny. No ego means no body identity.
Mhm.
So whose destiny is it? The body doesn't say, I, this is my destiny.
Okay, so it means if we start to take our just thoughts and just feelings out of what's going on, if we will let the life to be lived without ego involved, all this predefined pattern is going to be changed or erased one day, right?
That's what you want.
No, I'm asking.
No,
Is it
no.
true or not?
Yeah, exactly. You want me to tell you if it is true.
Yes.
Right? Not that if it is not true. You want me to tell you, yes, it's true. And I have to say, no, it's not true. See, the body doesn't say I, and the self doesn't say I. Something appears in the body as I, as a thought I. And that thought I is the body. It's a mind that it says, this is I, and this is my destiny. This is my action. This is my karma. Are you following?
Yes, I do.
If this I disappear, then destiny, karma, and the rest of it disappears. See, the one that is asking the question is the ego. And most of the time, the ego wants to know how is it or how it's going to be when the ego is not present. The ego is not going to be there to know how is it to be free from ego, right?
Right.
So the ego cannot experience the egoless state, right?
Yeah, agree.
is one get rid of the ego. All these questions about free will, destiny, karma, and so on. See, they will simply not arise. They arise now because they arise now because we arose as the ego.
Once there is no ego, there are no questions like this.
Sorry?
Once ego is gone, there
Yeah.
will be no questions like this.
No, there will be no questions about anything. Just practical questions about the simplicity of daily life.
What do you mean practical question about simplicity of the daily life?
Like, what time is it? How much is 1 kilo tomato, right? Or do I have enough money in my wallet, right, to put petrol and buy a few things? So I need to go, do I need to go to the bank to draw more money? You know what I mean? Just the practicality of thinking.
Yes, but when we are talking the ego, it is equal to intellect. And when the ego will just completely disappear, what will be asking this question? What is the price for 1 kilo?
Okay. I heard this question so many times. Believe me, so funny.
Yeah, I believe you. Sorry, I missed it somehow because I listened to many
The
songs now.
intellect remains in a very subtle way for the practicality of daily life. And the sage refers to himself as the body, but it doesn't identify himself with it. Like an actor, right? That says, I am Romeo, but he knows that he's not Romeo. He's just playing a role.
Mhm.
So you will not lose your memory, the capacity to think, or the capacity to feel. No thought means no, I am the body thought. No, I am the body idea, and all the thoughts that are associated with it. Sorry, related to it. Are you following?
Yes, I do. If you don't mind, I have just one more question. So the consciousness from the big capital C or absolute whatever just we call it, let's say consciousness from capital C. One day it is created, or at one point of a time, since we are all the present within the time, created all this universe, everything, all the stones.
I'm struggling because of your accent and your pronunciation. I miss a lot of what you say. Do you mean that the consciousness, as you call it, capital C, was created?
Yeah, consciousness or absolute, whatever we call it. Let's continue calling this like consciousness. Okay?
It was not created.
No. I'm not saying it was created. When it has created all the universe, everything, right?
No.
Who created universe?
There is a creative power within consciousness. And that creative power is the mind. So all this is a mind game, and is the mind itself. Within consciousness, there is an energy. Call it undifferentiated potential creative energy, call it Shakti, call it Kundalini, call it Maya, illusory power, power of imagination, whatever you like, right? In deep sleep, this power is sleeping, right? Dormant, at rest, in a potential or latent state. And in a split second, the new awakened state gets reorganized according to its previous state. Are you following?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it is the mind, the responsible of the appearance of what we call objective reality. Mind is basically energy.
So we're talking about the mind in relation to the human being. It's not separated from the mind in general understanding, which created the universe, right?
Mind is only one.
Yeah,
The
that's
way-
what I'm saying. Mind is only one.
The awakened state is a mental state, and it is the mind itself. Together, what is contained within it. Whether you consider it to be animal, vegetal, mineral, atomic, subatomic, whatever, right?
So what you just mentioned, so it's mind responsible for creating everything.
But it doesn't create, it gets manifested as all this.
It gets manifested.
Yeah. It gets manifested because it is spontaneous. Creation implies time. And creation implies creator and creation, right? For the manifestation, and what manifests the manifestation is one. See, is the mind, is collectively the mind. It is the mind that afterwards identifies itself with whatever it manifested and thinks, I am this.
Can we say, keeping in mind the evolution, if evolution exists just in this understanding, can we say that like the stones, everything, the trees and humans, yeah, we're all the same energy. But does it mean that the human being is an evolution starting from like minerals, trees, fishes, animals, etc., and it's kind of intermediate step, and the evolution will be going on behind the human being, like we know each other now?
How it's going to be, I don't know. But the thing with evolution is that implies the idea of beginning and end, right? When the evolution started at some point, right? And in reality, there is not even a beginning or an end for the illusion, right? See, this energy has been expanding and contracting, right? Eternally. The illusion, to begin with, does not exist independently from consciousness, which is beginningless and endless. So it exists as consciousness eternally. It has been just changing shapes, right? And this movement of changing shapes, there's no beginning of or end for it.
So it doesn't make sense to say what creation, like minerals, trees, humans, or whoever, is in the middle of evolution or just in the end or in the beginning. It's simply everything exists.
Yes, it's very simple. See who is asking the question. Who is interested in all that? See, the illusion is asking questions about itself, right? And sees the illusion as separate from itself as an object, and says, what is this? Who says when this came into existence? It's the same illusion. It's a mind game.
You know what? Maybe a couple of times I had a dream when I was feeling like I'm a stone. Is it again illusion, or it's part of previous experiences, or whatever?
If
Or it's
the
nothing.
if the mind doesn't identify itself with one body, it's everything.
So technically, this dreams means nothing.
Sorry?
Technically, this kind of dreams mean nothing.
What kind of dreams? Which ones?
I said that a couple of times in my dreams. I was feeling like I'm a stone.
The awakening state is not different than the dream state. It's exactly the same. The mind creates another body in the dream state, right? And creates a world for itself and a complete different life and so on. And it is hungry and it satisfies the hunger in the dream, and it's tired and it rests and it sleeps in the dream, right? And sometimes it dreams that it's dreaming. So the waking state and the dream state are not any different.
And it means it doesn't make sense to pay attention for any kind of dreams we're dreaming.
Nothing makes any sense.
Okay.
No, don't pay attention. You wake up, forget about your dreams. Your dreams is your mind. The mind is not having enough of itself in the waking state that carries on in the dream state. But because the mind doesn't exist, it needs to rest. And it goes to sleep. Puff. And there is no world, there is no mind, there is nothing. It's the mind that is sleeping, not consciousness. Consciousness is witnessing the mind, awakening, dreaming, and sleeping.
So you're saying that mind sometimes needs to rest?
It's not that it needs to rest. That's the nature of the mind. See, to get activated and deactivated. See, to go from its unmanifested state to its manifest state. That's what the mind does. This is what the sages realize. There is no real reason for any of it, right? There is no particular meaning or anything. Right? And if there is a reason and if there is a meaning, who is going to say so? The mind again. So the reasons and the meanings and the rest of it is nothing but thought. It's just a mental justification about the mind. See, the mind justifying its present, its existence and why and all that stuff.
Can you say that the mind mostly active during awakening state and the state when we have the dreams, but it's not active when we don't, when we're in a deep sleep, where there are no dreams?
That is what I just said. Now it is active, dream state is active, deep sleep is inactive.
Inactive. So there is no mind in deep sleep.
There is mind, but it's just in a potential latent state.
Potential.
It is a causal body.
Okay.
It is a causal body because it's the cause. It's what causes the appearance of all this. The whole universe in deep sleep is there in a seed form. And then everything gets reorganized as a new day. And the difference between perhaps the difference between the awakened state and the dream state is that the awakened state has some sort of continuity, right? Some sort of momentum, huh? So kind of an order, if you wish. Dream state, all the dreams are different, right? We may repeat one dream or the other, but there is no basically continuity in the dreams.
Yeah, mostly the dreams, they are not connected to each other when I'm talking about yesterday's dream, today's dream, tomorrow's dreams. They are not connected.
Correct. Even the dream state is kind of a reproduction of experiences of the awakened states. There are imprints left in the mind, right? And the mind goes for it in the dream state.
Just a couple more minutes from my side.
It's okay.
You know what, that when we were talking about that, the mind, it is our thoughts and plus our emotions, and it is the subject object, and we have a subject, ego, which absorbs this, not ego but consciousness, right?
No, there is a misconception that consciousness is neither a subject nor an object.
What is subject when we're talking about looking at into the objects like thoughts and feelings?
The subject is
Please.
mind.
Subject is mind. Yeah.
Mind,
So
mind is subject and object. Two, mind is duality, subject and object. And the objects are external to the subject, see? They are outside, they are separate, right? So one can say, for instance, mine is I and you, two, right? Now, I am here, you are there. Two separate entities.
mhm.
Then I am different from you, see? I am independent from you. Or I am even better or worse than you. So mine is duality, separation, differentiation, right? Independence, sense of independence, and also carries the value system, the judgment, the good and evil ideas. Or the ideas of good and bad, if you wish. Where good is what is pleasant and bad is what is unpleasant.
When there is no separation, there are no these feelings of good and bad, right?
Correct.
I caught myself on that when I'm looking at the objects and they're disappearing if I'm not trying to attach myself to them. It is more easy with thoughts, but it's more hard with feelings.
This is our feelings are produced by our thoughts. We may not be aware of the thought that produced the feeling, but
you know what, when the thoughts come in, when I see how any thought is arises, when I see this, it's pretty much automatically within like the second it's getting away. But I can't say the same about feelings. I can't catch this when the feelings coming up
what
to
is
get them
feelings?
go away.
Feelings like physical feelings, or
Yeah, like be feeling not comfortable with some person staying around, or just in the particular situation.
There is a thought underneath that.
Everything starts with thoughts, right?
There must be some kind of dislike. There must be a preconception that has been contradicted, right? Sometimes, because everything is energy, right? And the perceiver of energy is also energy. We can pick up the vibe, so to speak, of the person. And the vibe may be unpleasant, and you feel something unpleasant, right? The environment, see, if you go, there are some environments that has a very uncomfortable feeling. You have to go to a hospital, an emergency area, right? Or if you go to a funerary place, right? So there is a mood that you can feel that, okay? If you are sensitive enough, your mind is quiet enough, you can feel it, right? And again, the feeling can be pleasant or unpleasant.
But underneath there is a thought, like you said, even just behind the feelings, everything starts with thought.
Yes. If it is not yours, it's the collective thought, it's the collective mind, because the mind is collective. We believe that there is an individual mind. See. Not in the sense, the mind is an individual, but not in the sense that we understand it.
No thanks. I didn't think just about this from that side, that it might be collective mind, which kind of implanting something in me, and I start to have either bad or good feelings, but behind this, it's still thought mind.
It becomes me or you if you identify yourself with it. But you may not feel it, or you may not be conscious of it, because you cannot not be the consciousness that you are.
Understand.
So
It's a very good point.
yeah, you cannot avoid anything. Because even if all this is an illusion, it cannot exist separate from you. But as consciousness, you are not affected by it. It is only the mind that appears to be affected by its own ways of behavior.
Is there any simple way, maybe it's not a good word, but is there any way to turn the attention from objects, feelings, thoughts into the consciousness?
That's the whole point. That's it. The whole point is to be aware, is to be self-aware, right? Where self means consciousness. Where being means consciousness.
So what is the technique to do this?
Look at yourself. If you are consciousness, if consciousness is I, then bring all the attention to whatever you know right here, right now as I. Everybody's conscious of being. Or because everybody's identifying themselves with the body, right? Consciousness appears to be individualized. I am an individual body, person, an individual self, right? And appears to be like there is an individual consciousness. But even this knowledge I am that everybody has is no other than consciousness. So why? I don't know that because I haven't paid attention to myself close enough. I haven't scrutinized myself properly, deeply. Like, I mean, really. I am conscious. Then look at myself. Let me be only conscious of myself.
How can I do this? That's the only one question for $1 million.
Sorry?
This is $1 million question. How can I do this?
Give me the $1 million first and I'll give you the answer.
Okay.
You know that you are, yes or no?
Yes.
Then that knowledge that you have right here, right now, of being, just pay attention to it. To your own sense of self or whatever you like to call it, right? Nobody feels as I am. What is known as I am or I.
I guess deep inside we know that we are consciousness. It kind of the background which is sitting behind us, not always. And this is why we just starting this journey.
No, it's not a $1 million question then. It's a 1 rupee.
It's one rupee.
One
Okay.
rupee question because you already forgot about it, see? And went to another subject. So it turns into a mental curiosity. And real interest is, okay, forget about perception, forget about thought, feelings, emotion, energy, sensation, phenomena of any kind. And let me focus on the I that is conscious of them. Let me see who is the knower. Really, I know it is me, but I need to spend some time looking at myself. Seeing what self-being actually is. Without allowing anything to distract you, like thoughts, perceptions, and feelings, and emotions, and energy, and whatever. Believe it or not, it's getting better. Yeah, it is
I believe.
coming out. Well, can you give me 1 second? Can you take the tea and pour it into, I don't know if there is another cooking pot, or you can filter it. Yeah, so you can filter it all together. And then give me 1 cup, even if it is hot. Sorry.
This one.
Where were we?
Okay. Good. Just no more questions for me today.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. Why are people not asking questions? I don't understand. They may have questions, but they may feel shy, right? On the other hand, there is people that know me for years here. There has been many people has been for a while attending satsang. And some of them, if not most of them, they already understood intellectually the teachings, the knowledge, right? They already clear their doubts, right? They already clarified the meanings of the concepts. And they are focusing on the inquiry. They find it auspicious, one could say, the fact that we get together. Some of them state that when we are together, either the mind keeps quiet naturally, effortlessly, or it is easier for them to keep the mind quiet, which is the whole point, right? To keep the mind quiet, to keep the mind merged in its source, right? It's the only question, the only meaning, or the only way, if you can call it a way, to know oneself as consciousness, right? So what we believe oneself to be has to be merged. Our sense of individuality has to be merged in one's reality. Because I believe to be the ego, then I, as the ego, do the inquiry. Either what is the ego or from where the ego emerged. Either wise will make the ego to merge in its source. To be merged in its source means it disappears. When I came to see Mr. Ratan Lal, I had already some glimpses, but I didn't have the intellectual knowledge to identify them as such. So for me, first was the direct knowledge, and then I got the concepts. And I just wanted that to become permanent. I didn't know how to make it permanent. I used to go in and out of body identity just by itself. Or my mind will simply keep quiet, or I will lose body identity. Either keep quiet and then go deeper and lose body identity. But that was going in and out. It didn't become permanent, right? Because some tendencies still were alive. So I met this man who explained me, right, how to remain in that state permanently, right? And I met him and explained what happened to me in India, Tiruvannamalai, Arunachala, Ramana Ashram, and so on. And he just gave me one advice, that's all. He said, bring the attention from the seen to the seer. The seen will disappear, the seer will disappear, and what remains is the act of seeing, experience as simply being. I didn't ask more questions. I folded my hand and kept quiet. I didn't know that I could do it there and then in his presence. So I remained in the rest of the meeting that normally lasts for 1 hour, okay? Just out of politeness, right? Just stay there. And other people were asking questions, and I was not interested in their questions, and I was not interested in the answer given to them because that's none of my business, right? My business is my business, and I already got what I needed. And then I went to a quiet place and did what he suggested, and he was right. It took me like a few minutes to figure out what he meant by bringing the attention from the object to the subject, right? From the seeing to the seer. Means who is the seer? I. Okay, I am the seer. Okay, let me keep attention on myself. And basically in no time, the idea of being the seer means the idea of being the body disappeared, and the knowledge of being consciousness revealed itself. And at that time, I could recognize that as myself, and that this is it. So most of this knowledge, I got it after, while I still carry on going to his meetings. We became very close. And because he knew even better than me that I was going to end doing this, he asked me to read some spiritual books. But he told me, this is not for you. You don't need any of that. But it's for you to know the background from where the people are coming to talk to you, right? They will bring the books, or they will bring the books physically or in their heads. So for you to have an idea of the background, see terminologies in case that they come from Hinduism, Sanskrit terminology, all that stuff. But after that, I was not interested actually whenever, I didn't want to read any of these books, and I didn't even want to talk to anybody about this. And I was not interested in anything that he was saying. I was enjoying his company. Of course, my ego made like a U-turn and turned into a spiritual one, right? Based even in direct knowledge. And he made sure that I could notice it, okay? That was becoming spiritually stupid, right? So I can get over my bloody spiritual self. In one way or another, he helped me out in that sense. But it's very rare. It's very rare. Somebody that doesn't get lost in the labyrinths of the intellect and knowledge, right? They want to know about things, about this, about that, and why this, and why that. Rarely somebody goes straight to the source. That was my case, actually. When the meeting finished, he looked at me and he said, "You are very rare. You are very rare," he said. He didn't say special, right? Or superior or anything. He said, very rare. Because I just wanted to, right? I just wanted to straight away to keep the knowledge of myself as consciousness. I was already sick and tired of life. Not interested in name, fame, money, material things, nothing. Right? So all the questions and the arguments in the conversation reveals, right, the temperament of the individual, right, his mental structure, and then we can deal with that patiently, right, according to each person, right. Sometimes you have to see the person and know what is happening there. And you may say something to that person without that person having to ask any question. You save that person from having to ask any question. There are people watching this. They know me for even for 20 years. Some people are there. Some 10, some 5, some few months. No? If the people have questions, I cannot squeeze them, right? There must be an input from the person, right? Now and then, I open my microphone and ask, any questions? No? Okay, fine. I don't give lectures because I don't know. I don't know what to say, right? No questions, no answer, right? I don't speak about this with anyone unless I am asked for. If nobody doesn't touch the subject, I don't bring it into the picture. Even if it is the closest person to me, maybe my son, my wife, my parents, none. Why bother anybody with this if it is not interested, right? It's like I am a mechanic and the guy beside me in the bus, I don't know if this person is interested in mechanics. Why should I talk to this guy about mechanic? Maybe he doesn't mind. He doesn't care. So why should I disturb this man, which is seated quietly beside me? He better leave him alone, right? The desire to teach is ego desire. And the ego is a very bad teacher. That's the answer to the question.
Hola César.
Hola, Esperanza. Dime.
Te había hecho una pregunta por el WhatsApp, pero digo, mejor te la hago por acá. Em, ¿Alguna vez no pongo la cámara porque no me encuentro muy bien, pero alguna vez recuerdo que me dijiste que hay cosas
Uno.
que uno tiene de la personalidad, ¿no? Pero me preguntaba si eso es algo natural, porque no recuerdo bien cómo lo dijiste.
Hay aspectos de la personalidad que no tienen por qué necesariamente desaparecer.
Ajá,
Ejemplo, el acento, ¿verdad? Hábitos alimenticios, la forma como te vistes, cómo caminas, no sé, ciertas formas de entretenimiento, deporte, un hobby, ¿verdad? Lo que se va realmente es la adicción. Ni siquiera el hecho que uno le guste algo es el problema, es la adicción a ese algo. Y no poder dejarlo o no, o olvidarse o estar bien si no lo experimentas, si no lo obtienes, si no lo ves, lo oyes, lo hueles, lo sientes.
claro. Pero espontáneamente es así. O sea, es como que, por ejemplo, hay algunas personas que son más expresivas que otras o no sé, algo así. Eso es
Correcto,
natural, es
correcto,
natural.
correcto. El señor Ratanlal, aunque era una persona extremadamente sencilla y humilde, cuando le escuchabas hablando, ciertos manerismos, ciertos gestos reflejaban a una persona muy culta, ¿sí? Muy refinada, ¿eh? Hasta cierto punto rayando en lo posh, ¿verdad?
¿Qué es Bosch?
Posh es como que, sí, de lo mejor, sí, esos modales de, sí, cuando el escarce le caía, entonces se lo ponía para atrás, tipo, ah,
Ah, ya, acá se dice de otra forma.
sí, claro, vivían de una forma muy sencilla y eran muy humildes, ¿no? Pero la ciudad era tan alta, tú venía de familias súper ricos.
Mm,
Entonces hay ciertas cosas que son completamente inofensivas.
mm, ya.
Si a le gustaban los chocolates Lindt, eran sus favoritos, pero no se sentaba y se atapuzaba de chocolate.
Claro, era espontáneo.
Sí,
Ajá, sí,
me gustaban las papitas Pringles y el refresco, la gaseosa Fanta, esa de naranja. Pero no tenía una caja de gaseosas en su casa y acumular. Sí, de vez en cuando, pues, sí.
claro. Así, ¿ves?
Y aún así, sacrificaron ciertos aspectos de su personalidad, inclusive por humildad misma, por no causar gastos en el agua. Baba le decía, pero monten un aire acondicionado en ese cuarto, ustedes no están acostumbrados, o sea, ustedes no tienen por qué dejar de, tenemos por qué causarle más gastos y más molestias a nadie. Y se quedaban con su ventiladorcito como cualquier otro hijo de vecino.
Porque también era natural esa sencillez que tenían.
Bueno, la sencillez, Baba se la... El señor Ratelán confesó un día que si sumaban de todas las personas que hay aquí en Punta Parte, si sumas el ego a todas ellas y lo comparas conmigo, era una cuarta parte del ego que yo tenía cuando vine para acá.
Eso decía el señor Ratanla, de él mismo.
Primero, inclusive Baba, a veces le decía, "Bueno, ¿y este qué le pasa?". Porque ellos eran mayores que Baba, sin edad. Y eran, fíjate tú, Maharani y Maharaj. Casa en Bombay con ascensor, te puedes imaginar. Cuatro tipos de cocineros: cocina continental, cocina brahmin, cocina del sur, cocina del norte de India.
Pero eso también entra dentro de lo inofensivo que dices.
Si tú puedes ser un rey y estar rodeado de objetos, si tú puedes poseer objetos sin que los objetos te posean, si de que tu sentido de ser se basa en identificación con ellos y el cuerpo a través del cual los reclamas como tuyos.
Claro. Ya me queda más claro.
Mm.
Es que a veces me ha surgido así como un conflicto con eso, con algunas cosas que salen de manera natural pero bueno, ya me queda más claro.
Escucha a Carl Renz, por ejemplo, y ve la personalidad de Carl Renz. No le quita, sí, hay gente que no lo tolera, sí, es insufrible, insoportable, y además es vulgar. Nisargadatta era ordinario, ordinario pero hasta la médula.
Como tosco, algo así,
Ordinaria, persona ordinaria, no sé ordinario es ordinario.
como vulgar.
Sí, sin ningún tipo de refinamiento de ningún tipo. Vivía en un barrio, uno de los barrios más escandalosos de Bombay, y era un vendedor tenía un kiosquito de una venta de cigarrillos, básicamente iliterado, iliterado, sí.
Iletrado.
Iletrado, perdón, iletrado. Sí, en inglés es illiterate, sí, a veces se me mezcla. Casi que si la sabía leer y escribir. Y era gritón, él no hablaba. Y parecía que estuviera todo el tiempo de mal humor.
Claro, pero esa era su personalidad, su manera de ser.
El mismo Ramana Maharshi lo dijo. El conocimiento es uno y el mismo, pero a la hora de expresarse, forzosamente estaba teñido, iba a estar teñido por el temperamento de
Ah,
la
claro,
persona.
claro.
Baba era la máxima expresión de la pureza. Eso era,
Sí, sí.
no sé si iba a ser un hombre, si era una mujer, parecía una abuelita, parecía una...
Sí.
Raro, muy raro. No le puedes poner el dedo en la llaga nunca. No puedes poner el dedo en el clavo nunca.
¿Y de Sai Baba de Shirdi sabes algo?
También era bastante cascarrabia. Era bien cascarrabia. La encarnación anterior de Satya Sai. Shirdi Sai, un famoso sabio santo de la India, en Maharashtra, Bombay.
A Carl Renz lo he escuchado en dos videos en YouTube hace tiempo y noté que era bastante bromista.
Sí,
No noté mucho esa forma que dices porque tal vez, no sé, tendría que hablar su idioma para entenderlo. No sé, se me ocurre, pero, pero,
Cuando le decían que él era muy grosero, y eso que nomás he escuchado hablar cuando se habla en alemán. Él no se va a sentar en silencio con nadie. Dice, no.
¿por qué no? No es lo suyo o algo así.
También en Alemania.
Es lo que le comentaba al muchacho este de la India, ¿no? Que él también dejó, dice, el último viaje, pues no vengo más para India. Todos los extranjeros nos dimos cuenta de que ya la competencia es muy fuerte.
Claro, pero tampoco es una característica del sabio que tenga que ser cascarrabias o que, no sé,
La característica del sabio es que no está afectado por las circunstancias, ni por lo que hace, ni por lo que dice, ni por lo que los otros hacen o dicen. ¿Sí?
mm,
Es el estado de ecuanimidad indiferentemente de lo que suceda o lo que él haga. A veces, estando con el señor Ratanlar, le hacíamos comentarios de lo que alguna gente opinaba de él y él decía, me importa un pepino
mm,
lo que la gente piense de mí.
claro. Sí, y la vez pasada me hablaste de Ramana cuando era muy cuidadoso con los animales y he visto videos, algunos videos, que se ve mucha ternura, mucha sensibilidad. Y ahí yo no veo nada de cascarrabias, por ejemplo.
No, pero a veces también si se ponía tonto, él lo ponía en su sitio.
Claro, cuando era necesario.
Simplemente cuando decía que cuando él estaba en la cocina era como era una especie de Hitler. Estar en la cocina con él era, o sea, hasta asusta, hasta uno se había cocinado de él. E igual, hay una persona que escribió libros, un libro, hablando pero cosas terribles de él, terribles,
¿De Ramana?
acusándole de las cosas más horrorosas. ¿Sí? Y le llevaron el libro un día para que lo viera y yo le dice, yo hubiera podido hacer peores cosas que esto, ¿no? Y entonces le dijo a la persona que agarrara, que fuera a la tienda, que comprara todos los libros y que los vendiera en la entrada del AFA, para que la gente los leyera y de una vez por todas se fueran todos decepcionados y me dejaron solos.
Y una pregunta curiosa, ¿el señor Ratanlal era así con su esposa también?
Con quien fuera. No se trancaba la puerta del cuarto, cerraba las ventanas. Si quieren entrar, que tumben la puerta. Si tocan la puerta, no la abren. Decía, quieren entrar, que la tumben. A ver, ¿de qué hablamos? Personaje muy particular.
Pero la señora Ratanlal no era así.
Ella era muy devota, ella era muy beata, si se quiere.
Ya, ese es el temperamento, ¿no? Lo que dices.
Igual, igual, sí.
O sea que por más que en algún momento uno, no sé, ay, no sé cómo decirlo, por más que uno deje el ego de lado, definitivamente puede mantener esas cosas, puede mantener ese temperamento.
Ciertamente. Yo tengo mucho tal vez de la personalidad de mis padres o, no sé, la forma como yo llevo la casa, la forma como cocino. Yo soy de los que va limpiando, cocinando y va limpiando, no va dejando nada para
Sí.
recogido y orden, y las cosas en su sitio y si algo pues no se rompe hay que repararlo, no se puede estar dejando nada, esperando, dejando nada para mañana, ni que no. Cuando Nasta me conoció pensaba que yo era, decía, tienes personalidad de psicópata, me decía. ¿Ah? Por el orden. Ahorita esto es bueno porque ya y pues hay que compartir, pues, ¿no? Y hay que ser tolerante. Mira la cara, ya mira. Ya hay que ser tolerante, sí. Pero, de lo contrario, no.
Pero no te afecta.
No, ¿qué vas a hacer? Viene en el paquete y ya está. Llegamos a un punto medio, ¿no?
Claro.
Una negociación. Porque ahora que llegaba a la casa y me sacaba las monedas del bolsillo y las ponía en pilitas por unidades, por cantidad, y iba llegando todo, las cuentas de todo, todavía hasta el sol de hoy, meticulosamente todas las cuentas de todo, lo que entra, lo que sale, en qué, cuánto va, viene, todo. ¿Sí? Ropa acumulada en la cesta de la ropa, no, 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 de eso es limpia, lavando, colgando, recogiendo, doblando, guardando. Ahora ya me mira con esa cara porque se me ha pegado de ella, pero un poco más flexible, pero no, no, no es que sea rígido, esa es la forma. Es que viene natural también, sí.
Claro. No hay rigidez.
No, no es eso, sino que es natural. O sea, cuando no llego es natural, hay una forma de orden, sí.
Mm.
Pero antes de perder yo, tú eras así.
No,
Ah,
es un desordenado de tipo bohemio. Sí. La apariencia, pues, la bohemia, era medio.
Ujú. Ya me queda más claro. Y bueno, también estuve haciendo lo que me dijiste. poner la atención en mí. Y ahora cuando lo estaba haciendo, me vino un poco esto de, entonces es la conciencia la que está percibiendo todo el tiempo, todo, como un flash así, me vino, pero
La conciencia no tiene problema con nada o con nadie.
ujú.
No es la mente, ¿sí? Esa es la conciencia. Aquí está. ¿Qué tal?
Claro, ahí en ese momento me di cuenta que no podría tener conflicto con nada porque ahí no hay mente.
Por eso le llaman la danza de Parvati. Parvati danzando ante Shiva.
Parvati es la consorte, ¿no?
¿Sí? La mente.
Claro.
No pueden divorciarse nunca. Eh,
Porque es una sola cosa, por eso lo dices.
correcto. Ellos no dicen Shiva y Shakti. Ellos dicen Shiva Shakti. Lindo.
Mm.
Y todas las deidades tienen una consorte, son masculino y femenino. Brahma, Sarasvati. Vishnu, Lakshmi. Shiva, Parvati. Krishna, Radha. Rama, Sita. ¿Mm? Y así sucesivamente.
Ok. A veces me funciona y a veces no. A veces lo logro y a veces no.
¿Qué?
Poner la atención en mí. A veces me distraigo. Pero bueno, vuelvo la atención. Y me doy cuenta en esos momentos que es como que, como te decía esa vez, que uno se queda medio como neutral, como neutralizado, algo así. Pero también al menos veo que ese autocastigo cuando no logro cuando me distraigo, ya no está ahí presente.
¿Qué? El autocastigo.
Ajá, sí.
Distraerse no es un pecado, simplemente genera confusión. Alguien le dijo a Ramana que a veces tenía ciertos pensamientos y a veces le daba rienda suelta a esos pensamientos en forma de acción, pero entonces se sentía que era un pecador. Y Ramana le dijo que el único pecado que había cometido era pensar que era un pecador. Y que aún así, si no podía dejar de cometer ese acto, si lo llevaba a cabo, simplemente después no pensar en ello. Mm.
Gracias, César. Me ayuda mucho.
A la otra. Y calor. Que ahora dijo otro que venía mañana de este. Iván Faridas. César, surgió la pregunta, ¿cómo puedo existir sin existir? Existiendo como conciencia y no existiendo como ego. Esa es la explicación. No sé si se entendió. ¿Entendiste, Iván? Supongo que está acá. Se responde. Veo que es el ego, no quiero entenderlo, pero de alguna manera tengo un tirón hacia la respuesta. Sí, correcto. El que no quiere entenderlo es el ego, pero hay algo adentro que sabe que es verdad. El ego buscando la conciencia. El gato tratando de atrapar a su propia cola.
No sé, no.
Ok, 10 de la noche. Nos vemos Hoy es domingo. Nos vemos el miércoles.